Hi, my name is Joseph Flory, and I'm with the Baron C. Mant School of Common Law. You can contact us by email dueprocessexplained@gmail.com. Today I want to speak a little bit on treaties. I want you to take a new view at what has been taught about treaties, how they supersede the Constitution, and as it states in the Constitution, we'll go over it. The limits to treaties, for instance. There doesn't seem to be a limit. Everybody believes a treaty is the law and that's it. Nothing you do about it. Well, it depends. Like any other legislation, it depends. So let's read the so-called supremacy power, which supremacy has been automatically guided over to the United States or the national government, because this is what they believe now. If you've seen my videos on the dictionary of conspiracy, then you will know that these words like United States mean something different now anyway, and Union and Constitution. So let's read the supremacy clause. You know, it's just as well that the understanding that we were a confederation of states, that the supremacy clause would have went to the states, in theory, or Supreme Court rulings and their so-called decision making, and their higher than God laws, as they would have you believe. In Article 6, Clause 2, the Constitution says, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding." Now the clause I think you need to pull out of here is the term "made in pursuance thereof." Alright? It's not just that treaties is the law of the land, supreme law of the land. It's not that laws of the United States are supreme law of the land. They got to be made in pursuance of the Constitution. Now that's an easy enough. Didn't take a professor for that one, did it? We just need to point out the limitations of these so-called treaties, because a lot of treaties has damaged us quite a bit. We're extracting more taxes over it. We're in bondage, basically. Today, comparative freedom, we don't have any. I don't know where you get that we have freedom. You need to look it up. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but it depends on what dictionary you're going to go to find out whether you have it. I know that the depleted form of liberty, you may have that because it's very limited, so they're letting you have some, and they're giving you those privileges. But in the Constitution, treaties has become a problem among the patriot community out there that's trying to help put all this together. There's plenty of people out there. I'm not sure I want to mention any of them. They may not want me to. Maybe I'll ask a few. They don't mind me bringing them up. But in the meantime, let's just look at what we got here. Treaties. Are they the supreme law of the land? Every judge in every state has got to give up everything they're thinking because a treaty was signed. Well, the treaty's got to be in pursuance to the Constitution. Now, if you're going to lose life, liberty, and property without due process because of a treaty, well, we know that's easy. That is not in pursuance of the Constitution. If some of our political strengths are diminished because of a treaty, we know that can't be in pursuance of the Constitution. Some of our powers that we have, we've depleted on purpose to blend with the world, give up certain powers. I do believe that, the United States could be a very friendly country, but you mess with us and it's over with. Now that's the way it ought to be. We don't need to be going over to other countries and shooting them up no matter what's going on over there. It's none of our business. Just like it's none of their business what we do here. Now, we can be friendly. I don't have any problems being friendly with the countries, but we don't have to take care of them. We don't have to send soldiers over there to help them in their civil problems and their so-called problems. They need to solve it themselves. Because the Constitution, if people will go back to the preamble, you will notice also what the preamble says that I think people just seem to overlook. And let's see if this book, I've got a lot of old books here. I'm sure they got the preamble here. We'll just go over it and read it and get the specifics out of it. The preamble. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty, of course, 1863 and back, liberty, to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution. I'm going to put emphasis here. For. Now we know who it's for. For the United States of America. That's these confederated states. That is a confederacy. That's who it's for. It's not for Belgium. It's not for China. It's not for England. And especially not England in these days, for sure. It's not for the benefits of other countries. It's for the United States, the confederacies of this union here, pre-Civil War Union. In case some of you only picked up on this and you don't know my other videos about the conspiracy of the dictionaries, changing these words, united, for instance, and Constitution, for instance. And so, with this in mind, we have treaties that have been known to actually strain the people of America, and the political realm that's up there now, wherever they came from. I know they graduated from the school of Noah Webster's 1864 school. And I know that they have high honors in it because they use it well. So we have a treaty problem when it destroys America. And someone would get up and argue, well, it's a treaty, there's nothing we can do, we just have to go by it. Really? If it's that bad of a treaty, we don't have to go by it. Apparently it's not what the Constitution, it was not in pursuance thereof. This is one of the things I just want to bring up because it's important that we understand that we do have control. Get the morons out that's there now. All of them. There is no exception. I don't see any of them going by the right government. Now, I'm an American. I will stick to that. If America does not exist, as it was put together in 1787, then I have no country. And like Jefferson Davis, I will die a man without a country. Because I'm not accepting anything here. This new union, this new so-called court system they have, this so-called Commonwealth, you name whatever they have mocked our forefathers. The government today is a mockery. They are enemies to this country. They're an enemy to the original United States. Now, I drafted up a letter for a friend of mine. I told him that if it was me, and I got a letter from one of these agencies, in this case it was the Internal Revenue Service, and here's the letter I would write them back. Now, you know, they haven't messed with me since '86, and who wants them? I mean, I'm glad to say goodbye to them in '86, but I call it the letter to the enemy, because when they contact anybody, we know they're not really the America. They're this one. This one was ratified through a convention. This one was ratified through lexicography, deceit, and fraud. So if you're really a righteous person, you know you're not going to go by this one. You'll go by that one. But I have what is a letter to the enemy, which we address this any agency that thinks they're going to ruin your life. Send you a bill in the mail that says, we found you at fault and now you owe us $5,000. We'll start our interest on you if you don't pay in 90 days. We'll be doing this right here for us over and throw you in jail. Okay. We've seen those letters hundreds of times. The question then is, do we understand the government that sent that? Are they really the true government? So I had put together what I would write back, and of course I've had a few people that wanted to use the letter and did. Successfully made them walk off. Because it does put the right questions to them. You're either for the America or for this fraud. Now let's get that right. And you as an individual, you're either for the real America or you're for the new one. Depending on which one you are, we would be enemies. We may be friendly enemies, but we would be on a different camp. We would be under a whole different system of thinking. And so this is where we are at. What do we do with this? I mean, treaties that overrides everything as they would make you believe. Of course, they don't make you believe anything. I mean, the problem with what's up there now is they have you believing that they are to be respected or to be honored. They are the good guys that's here to help. And that they would never lie to you. And they would only go by the truth. And I know that is a lie myself. I mean, I've been there. I knew they lied all along. It took these dictionaries to help me understand just how deep they were doing it. But, you know, in 1863, all this quit. The new lessons for the future was what landed in this lexicography work done by Noah Porter. And so we have a whole different government. So when you use the word treaty, and maybe we'll look that up. That's another one to look up, see what they've done with that. I don't know if they can change that too much, but we'll look it up in a future video, if it's significant. But the point that I want to bring out with you today is that a treaty under the idea of the original government would be absolutely in pursuance thereof. They would understand that they're only delegates and that they represent their state, that a Congress is only a delegate from your state representing your state. They don't represent a national government. They represent your state. They're not supposed to worry about California unless they're from California. South Carolina congressmen should only worry about South Carolina. Now, with the people that we have in office today, the definitions are moot in a way. It's just unarguable. Why? Because they want all this socialism. The congressmen and what we call congressmen today, they're not statesmen, but they are Congress under the new definition of what a congressman is. They would have an agenda for you. And they believe that, hey, you elected me in, so you got to thank me for doing the kind of things that we got you into. Higher taxation, invading other countries and destroying them, then sending in money to revive them. And so we got to wonder what kind of government do we have that's got 140 occupied countries out there. Now, does that make sense? We're a country of freedom, yet we occupy with our military over 140 countries. Now you put that mixed with this so-called doctrine of super treaty power, and you will end up being probably despaired to try to figure out what to do here. We hope to get you to understand this. This is important. This is not about personal politics. I mean, we all have it. But it is about the truth. Is your politics for the truth? So with this being said, we read off the so-called supremacy power, and we found out that it was not superpower. It was in pursuance of the Constitution. It has to line up with the Constitution. So if you start losing your rights and liberties because of treaties out there, well, we can clearly figure this out. It shouldn't be hard. An old high school graduate like me's got it figured out. And we can make our decisions accordingly. We need to start doing that. You need to go back to truth. So I'm going to close it out. We're going to try to keep these things short. There's so much I'm trying to get out, be somewhat short as possible. That's not easy for me. I'm a yapper. I can spend hours talking. And so this is actually a handicap to me, is to find ways to cut words. And you probably see me hesitate quite a bit, somewhat stutter, trying to just hurry this thing on because trying to keep it short enough. And we want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And I do hope that we can be of service to you. If there's anything you need to know, remember, it is dueprocessexplained@gmail.com. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you.